Why have great content? I'll tell you what, here's a reason why businesses should have great content. You might not even realize why. And this is a huge advantage of it that I don't think is really commonly known or is not commonly achieved because a lot of business content isn't made in this way. So there's a real good secret here. And the secret, it reduces your sales cycle. So when you think of bringing on a new client, there's this cycle you go through. Like they first, whatever the keywords you use for it, like awareness comes about, they discover who you are, they've got to build a sense of trust and get to know you. Are they ready to buy right now? Whatever. They get to a point where they've got the money, they're ready, they understand the problem you solve, they've got that problem, you're going to solve it, boom, they buy, you make some money. Now that cycle, depending how it works and depending what you're doing for lead generation, what you're doing in terms of closing, all these kinds of things, key metrics you should be measuring. But the way in which great content can reduce the cycle is if you start to analyze and look at the conversations you're having with prospects and what barriers are there, what reasons are they saying no, and what reasons are they saying yes for. I can give you some great knowledge and wisdom to turn into content to become assets, to reduce that closing cycle and just get it easier and simpler to the point where people get in touch with you ready to buy. And it's looking at the yeses and looking at the nos. You take the yeses, why do people buy from you? Go to your customers, the ones that are really happy, and ask them, why are you coming back to us time and time? If they're regulars, why are you coming back to us time and time again? Or if you've done a one-off project, it went really well, why did you use us? Like we all try and get those reviews on Google and whatnot, like can you leave us a Trustpilot review, etc. But go to them, why did you say yes? Why did you use us and what was great about it? That key information is then snippets of wisdom that you can then put into your content that then helps educate other prospective clients on why it's a great experience. And it's not about being pushy and salesy, it's just about educating people on some helpful information in a way that's emotive, it shares a story, it's interesting, it's engaging. And then on the other hand, you take the no's. Why are people, when you're discussing with a prospect, what reason have they got to say no? And in my first company I did this, I do this in Panda too, but always take down the reason why people say no. Why don't you want to work with us right now? What is it? Time, money, got to talk to the partner, whatever the thing is, get that information and ask them, and just ask people to be critical and blunt with you. And it's also a great way to develop your business. So this is kind of like a secondary benefit, is you will develop your business if you take that information, hold back the tears, because it is horrible to hear, but if you can take that information and then look at ways you can improve your service offering to make it better, come back to them, say you've changed it, say that they were the inspiration for it and you're really grateful for it. They probably won't buy from you because they didn't have the trust in you, but it's still a great way to leave a positive taste in their mouth. But when you take those no's and you've got that data, is then put that in your content. So you, for one, can fix it and change your business and then educate people on that. But two, you can also, you start to gather a clear picture of who you do help and who you don't. So you want to deter the people you don't help and attract the people you do. And the people that you do help are going to find that these deterrents, it's helping them go, yes, this is the great person to work with. It's not always about who you do help, it's also about who you don't help and saying, we don't do this, we don't help these people, we are not interested in that, but what we are interested in is this. And it's like with Pink Panda. If I say, we are interested in content, it's content with a purpose. We need to know your vision. We need to know where you're heading so that we can make the content, identify who's missing and create content that attracts those people. That's who we want to help with, that's the yes. But the no, we're not interested in those that aren't focused on driving their business. If you're a business owner that's happy where you are, you're steady, not looking to grow, not for us. No point talking, because we only want to talk to the driven. We want to know the people that are here and want to be here. We don't care about those that are going along steady. That's a great position to be in, and it's frankly a really calming, pleasant place. You're going to avoid a lot of stress, but you're not going to get the fun and the reward that comes from elevating where you are. And that's what Pink Panda wants. We don't want, and you notice I'm doing this right now, like in the content, hi. I'm trying to speak to you and go, we do want the driven and we don't want those that aren't focused in driving their business. We want people that want to elevate. And that's the whole purpose of what you can do with the right content in your service-based business. Hopefully I've waffled on and gone on a few different tangents, but it kind of explains there how you can reduce that sales cycle. If you've got, I don't know, on average like 20 steps where they obviously discover a post, whatever, you share something on Facebook into a group, and then they go onto your page and they've got to interact with that, then they get in touch, they need to learn more information. What questions are you always answering, go through all of this, and you start to realize you're doing a few emails, a few messages, a phone call, site visit, Whereas if you can start to create content that educates them on all these points, you start realizing you can just subtract. Instead of 20 steps, it was then 19, 18, 17, sometimes 8, like whatever it is. You're just reducing that sales cycle to make it more refined and streamlined.